luncheon.
Coming up next on Arizona PBS, Life and World.
Come and play with us.
Onward and onward.
Good ideas open up a whole new world of possibilities.
The more you know about history, the more you know about yourself.
The sky is the limit.
Where I go, there you are.
Support for Arizona PBS comes from viewers like you and from
Deanne Griebel, now with Moores & Cabot Investments, serving investors since 1890, proudly supports quality programming on 8 Arizona PBS, 480-725-9602.
Entre las calles que nací, en la mano llevo un dulce y en la otra el corazón. Soy alegre cuando salgo, soy la risa donde voy.
Albertsons and Safeway are proud to support the Arizona Veterans Advancement Project and Arizona PBS. Learn more at azpbs.org/veterans.
From the Cronkite Studios in downtown Phoenix, this is Cronkite News.
Decision 2016 is in the books, and while we know the next president of the United States, some races here in Arizona are too close to call. An update from around the state.
And Arizona stayed red, why some Arizona leaders are excited about the future of the state.
Plus, it's been part of Trump's campaign since the beginning, build a wall. Now, residents along the border fearing that may become a reality.
Cronkite News starts now.
Good evening and welcome to Cronkite News on Arizona PBS. I'm Carla Liriano.
And I'm Cassie Ronda. Thank you for joining us. It may no longer be election day, but some Arizona races are still uncalled. Helen Purcell is on the brink of losing her seat as a Maricopa County recorder, but the race is still too close to call. We spoke with Purcell last night. She said that she has a job to do and is only concerned about that. As of now, Adrian Fontes leads the race by over 9,000 votes. There have been no updates on when this race could be decided.
Maricopa County Recorder Helen Purcell says that more than 400,000 early ballots still need to be processed and tabulated, and an estimated 55,000 ballots still need to be researched. She says that tabulation will continue tomorrow morning at 9. For updated election results and continued election coverage, visit cronkitenews.azpbs.org. Arizona was expected to be a swing state and headed into last night's election, but a deeper look into the results show Arizona voters stayed with the trends, keeping Arizona red. Each of Arizona's 15 counties yielded similar results to the 2012 election. 4 counties went blue, while 11 Arizona counties stayed red. In Maricopa County, neither Clinton nor Trump gained the majority, with Trump taking just under 50% of the vote, a 5% difference from the 2012 election when 55% of the county voted Mitt Romney. The percentage of votes for a Democrat president increased. Clinton received about 46% of the vote, a slight 1.5% increase from 2012.
In Coconino County, 3.5% less voters chose the Republican candidate compared to 2012, with just 37% voting Trump. A similar trend in Santa Cruz County, where more than 6% less votes were cast for the Republican candidate, while the Democrat vote increased by 4%. The overall Arizona vote is much closer than 4 years ago when Mitt Romney took more than 54% of the vote. President-elect Donald Trump took only 49.6% of votes here in Arizona. After almost 24 years, Sheriff Joe Arpaio will no longer hold office in Maricopa County. Arpaio lost the race for county sheriff to Paul Penzone. Anti-Arpaio community leaders gathered outside of the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office today to celebrate the dethroning of Sheriff Joe. Anti-Arpaio Arizonans were relieved that Sheriff Joe Arpaio is out of office, celebrating with chants, signs, and even an inflatable Sheriff Joe that attracted Arizona residents.
I think they feel ecstatic. We have worked for years to make sure this happens.
His power has slowly been taken away, but to be able to say the Latinos came out in full force and oust him through the electorate is a beautiful thing, because we're showing them that his hateful rhetoric, his hateful policies, and his history of racial injustice will no longer be tolerated.
Robles also said that they are ready to work with Paul Penzone to ensure they don't receive the same type of treatment that they had with Sheriff Arpaio.
Sheriff Joe Arpaio was absent from the Arizona GOP watch party last night. Cronkite News reporter Katie Beery was part of our team at the Republican watch party. She's been tracking the fallout from the race. Katie?
While Republicans in Arizona were overjoyed at the presidential results last night, the news about America's toughest sheriff left a bitter taste in the mouth of many.
Sheriff can't be beaten. You know what I said? Never say never.
As Maricopa County's newest sheriff accepted his 10-point win.
He's a law-abiding man. There's so much lawlessness.
Sheriff Joe Arpaio's supporters across the street defended the sheriff, who had served for more than 2 decades.
You're in contempt of court. Well, sure he is. I would be too.
I want to thank you all.
Paul Penzone said he's pleased with the results and is excited to move forward.
Maricopa County Sheriff's Office has been identified because the notoriety of one. You will now know a sheriff's office who is appreciated because of the sacrifices of many.
But still, others mourn the end of an era.
I think Sheriff Joe, the loss of Sheriff Joe will leave a hole here and in our county.
Well, I think the loss of Sheriff Arpaio would be a very sad thing. Only time will tell, but I think it would be a very sad thing.
The sheriff's defeat comes 2 weeks after he was charged with criminal contempt of court. We spoke with his lawyer shortly after that news broke.
There was no reason why the referral and decision to charge couldn't have been made the day after the election. The timing, I think, was suspicious.
Arpaio's lawyer said he talked to the sheriff this morning, and the defeated official was disappointed at the results. His lawyer said that adverse publicity and the issue of age might be the reason behind the loss. The sheriff turned 84 in June. In the broadcast center, Katie Beery, Cronkite News.
State Democratic leaders we talked to last night also addressed the Arpaio loss, saying that they were hopeful about the future of Arizona.
Big picture, it takes away a black cloud that's been over Arizona politics for a long time. As long as Sheriff Joe has been in office, our international reputation has been very, very bad. Now that goes away, and it's a new day in Arizona, a very uplifting day, and I couldn't be more excited.
It looks like Democrats will pick up significant number of seats in the Arizona State Legislature, 2 county-wide races in Maricopa County, several other county races, including a health board seat, some great gains in school boards. Arizona is looking bluer than the rest of the country.
Meanwhile, Republican leaders in Arizona went on Twitter this morning to congratulate Donald Trump on his victory. Re-elected Arizona Senator John McCain tweeted, "Congrats to President-elect Donald Trump. As chairman of Armed Services Committee, I'll work to confront national security challenges and support our troops," end quote. Governor Doug Ducey congratulated Mike Pence on becoming vice president. He tweeted out, "Very excited for my friend Mike Pence, the next vice president of the United States." Ducey took the stage with Pence at a rally in Mesa last week.
Local GOP leaders are also optimistic about Arizona's future after the state stayed red last night. We spoke to several members of the GOP at their watch party.
I think it's just important for our party to revisit our roots. This party was born out of a commitment on a group of people that were willing to protect the African American, even though the Supreme Court said he wasn't a person. And if we still are the party of trying to say that all God's children need to be protected in terms of their freedom and human dignity, then we'll go forward for a long time. If we forget that, then we don't deserve to go forward.
The promise for America and the types of policies that we could see in place with the Donald Trump presidency versus a Hillary Clinton presidency have had us on edge for the last few weeks, coming down to the wire now. And as we see those vote totals come in and you finally see the consequences and the benefits of all the hard work, that's when you get that adrenaline rush. That's when you get that excitement and a little bit of exhale as well.
Instead of sort of finding a commonality throughout society that's saying, look, in politics, it's always about the money, And in Washington, the person with the most lobbyists seems to be winning instead of serving our constituents. Maybe this is a clarion call that's saying it's time to do the hard things in Congress.
And people around the world are reacting to Trump winning the election, especially those south of the border.
Coming up on Cronkite News, how our neighbors south of the border are feeling about this shift in U.S. power.
Plus, fallout from election results and how they're affecting stock markets.
Finally found my hallelujah. I've been waiting for this moment all my life now. All my dreams are coming true, yeah. I've been waiting for this moment. It's good to be alive right about now. Good to be alive right about now. Good to be alive right about now. Hallelujah. Let that bass line move, yeah. It's good to be alive right about now. I think I finally found my It's good to be alive right about now.
Tickets are now available for the annual Walter Cronkite Award for Excellence in Journalism Luncheon, held Monday, November 21st at the Sheraton Grand Phoenix. Join media industry and community leaders in honoring this year's recipient, award-winning journalist and CBS Evening News anchor Scott Pelley. The annual Walter Cronkite Award for Excellence in Journalism Luncheon. cronkite.asu.edu/luncheon.
For only the third time in the award's 74-year history, a Phoenix-based news operation wins the prestigious Alfred I. DuPont Columbia Award for Excellence in Broadcast Journalism. And this year, that news operation is Cronkite News, the news division of Arizona PBS, honored for its work on the groundbreaking documentary, Hooked, Tracking Heroin's Hold on Arizona. Cronkite News at Arizona PBS, award-winning journalism you can count on from the station you trust.
Fridays, it's at Cronkite News, your social sharing connection where you choose the news. Facebook likes and shares, tweets, retweets, and favorites. YouTube views and subscriptions. We're watching you, watch us. From our digital home at cronkitenews.azpbs.org to your television, web browser, or mobile device. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Then join us for at Cronkite News, our weekly refresh, each Friday at 5 on Arizona PBS.
Well, after midnight here in Arizona, Donald Trump beat out Hillary Clinton for the highest office in the nation. Trump passed the magic 270 mark to become president-elect. Trump will take over with Republicans ruling the majority in the House and Senate. He thanked his campaign and his followers in his victory speech for choosing him to become the country's next president.
To all Republicans and Democrats and independents across this nation, I say it is time for us to come together as one united people.
Trump will begin his term as the 45th president of the United States in January.
A disappointed yet optimistic Hillary Clinton delivered her concession speech this morning, addressing her supporters and the nation. Despite the loss, Clinton reminded voters that everything her campaign stood for doesn't stop here.
This is painful, and it will be for a long time. But I want you to remember this. Our campaign was never about one person or even one election. It was about the country we love and about building an America that's hopeful, inclusive, and big-hearted.
Clinton said that she offered to work with Trump and that everyone owes him an open mind and a chance to lead. She added that she hopes he will be a successful president.
President Barack Obama delivering a similar message to the nation today. After campaigning for Hillary Clinton, Obama reminded the public that all of America should hope for Trump to do a good job in the White House.
We are now all rooting for his success in uniting and leading the country. The peaceful transition of power is one of the hallmarks of our democracy.
President Obama says he called Trump early this morning, inviting him to the White House. He says he's instructing his team to make sure there's a peaceful transfer of power to Donald Trump's administration.
And leaders from around the world are also congratulating Trump today. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu congratulated Trump by phone. The Prime Minister said Trump invited him to visit at the first opportunity. And Philippine President Rodrigo Duterte said today, quote, "Long live Mr. Trump. We both curse the slightest reason we are alike," end quote. But it's not all congratulations for Trump. 28 European Union foreign ministers will hold a special meeting in Brussels on Sunday to discuss what the election results mean for international relations.
In Mexico, there's concern about how a Trump presidency will affect their nation, especially border residents who worry about their relatives in both countries. Cronkite News spent the last 48 hours along the border in Nogales, talking with voters and tracking comments that flooded social media. Today, Mexico's president congratulated Donald Trump on Twitter for winning the election, but finance minister said his country will not pay for the wall. The stock market is starting to pick up after taking a dip last night, a result of Donald Trump's surprising presidential victory. This is a far cry from the doom and gloom some predicted of a complete market crash. The Dow Jones ended the day up nearly 257 points, 1.4%. Overseas markets dropped overnight when no clear winner emerged in the presidential race, but word of a Trump victory and Hillary Clinton's concession speech pumped up the Wall Street rally. One financial expert we talked to says Trump's tax policies should renovate business expansion, but he does understand some fears investors may have.
What scares people a little bit is when he starts talking about tariffs and walls and a lot of this kind of stuff, and that really countries. I think that's probably overplayed a little bit.
Donald Trump won the election despite not having the most votes in the country. Hillary Clinton currently has a 200,000 vote lead in the popular vote. However, Trump did win in the race to 270 delegates from the Electoral College. The last time this happened was the 2000 election, when George W. Bush became president despite losing the popular vote to Al Gore. The Electoral College consists of 538 electors, one for each member of the House of Representatives and two for each state's senators. When a candidate wins the popular vote in a state, they get all of the state's electoral votes. Nebraska and Maine are the only exceptions to this, where they have a variation of proportional representation.
And whether you're feeling frustrated by this election or are excited for the future, Cronkite News wants to hear from you. You can go online to cronkitenews.azpbs.org to fill out our online query about election 2016.
Some of the post-election rhetoric has focused on the media's handling of the Trump campaign and candidacy, and the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communication wants to push that conversation forward. Tonight at 7 in the Cronkite First Amendment Forum, the public is invited to attend a special discussion on the role of journalism in political coverage and its failure to connect with a changing American electorate. And with this election shocking parts of the country, many are wondering how to go from here.
Coming up on Cronkite News, how Valley teachers are planning on having conversations with their students about this election.
It's currently 84 degrees in Phoenix, but what we really want to take a look at is the winds coming in at 14 miles per hour from the east-southeast. Will these stronger winds stick with us for the rest of the week? I'll have your full forecast up here next on Cronkite News.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I'm always searching to feel like I fit into something.
We are the people that we are because of our past.
I'm just one of many who stopped being silent.
It's just proof of how far we have come.
Make sure in all the hustle and bustle, we don't lose sight of why we're here.
It all boils down to communicating the lives we live.
If you look closely, they've got a story to tell.
He connects with you in a very deep way.
We wish you love, peace, and soul.
Come with us on this great adventure.
I've been getting used to waking up.
Come and play with us.
Onward and onward.
Good ideas open up a whole new world of possibilities.
The more you know about history, the more you know about yourself.
The sky is the limit.
Where I go, there you are.
Don't forget that you and your collectibles are the stars of this show.
Between $2,000 and $2,500.
In excess of $15,000.
Wow. It's close to $10,000 right now.
Well, $100,000 wouldn't even be a down payment on this painting.
Oh, good.
Never thought it'd be that.
$1,200 to $1,500 at fair market value.
Join us for the next taping of Arizona Collectibles. Go to azpbs.org/collectibles to submit your items today.
Discover so much more at azpbs.org/schedule, where it's easier than ever to find out what's on Arizona PBS. Access interactive digital and printable program guides, repeat times, and full episode descriptions. Watch program previews of best bets for the coming week. Search by title to find your favorite shows. You can even add programs to your calendar and get email reminders when they're about to start. It's easier than ever to find out what's on Arizona PBS. Discover so much more at azpbs.org/schedule.
After the election dust has settled, what can we expect to happen in the classroom after this so-called divisive race? Teachers are coming together to make sure that their classrooms stay calm. Cronkite News reporter Alicia Gonzalez lets us in on their game plan.
So there was a lot of internal turmoil within me. Do I turn my TV on or do I not? And I went to my husband this morning and he said, we're turning the TV on. And I said, okay.
As a teacher and mother, Carla Navarrete wasn't so sure how to react this morning.
Because I wanted to keep the focus on their school and them being good students.
Teachers across the country are supporting their students, and it's all starting with Twitter.
We have to help students understand the world, and so we have to learn from each other as well. And so it's a place where parents can go or other teachers can go to see, well, here's how this teacher in Indiana is handling this, or here's how this teacher in Massachusetts is handling it.
Teachers are giving short statements like these about what they're doing to support their kids in the classroom after the election last night. They're using the hashtag #I'mTellingMyKids. This student says she's relying on her teachers as role models.
I think the best thing for professors to do is just to realize the impact that they're having on their students right now, and that students are watching, and we're looking to our professors and our deans and even other students to show us how we react in a situation like this.
The National Education Association president confirmed that students thought.
You know, kids really pay attention. They really listen to adults. They listen to what's going on, and we need to be positive role models.
In Phoenix, Alicia Gonzalez, Cronkite News.
Arizona's largest ski area was hoping to open this Friday, but weather conditions have delayed opening dates for the Arizona Snow Bowl in Flagstaff. Nightly temperatures have been above freezing, making it difficult for crews to make enough snow on opening trails. Snow Bowl officials are monitoring temperatures, and the opening date is targeted for November 18th.
But we may see it start to cool down before then. For the full forecast, we go to Sarah Lichterman in the Weather Center.
That delay at the Snow Bowl may be due to a high pressure system that is sitting right above northern Arizona, bringing in drier and cooler air, making it unsuitable for skiers. But as we look into southern Arizona, there's a low pressure system down here bringing in a lot of heavy winds, around 15 to 20 miles per hour, with gusts ranging from 25 to 30 miles per hour. Our low temperatures for today, because of that high pressure system, our lows are in the 30s in Flagstaff, 29 in Casa Grande. But as we head further south, it does get into the 60s. And for tonight, this is what you can expect at 11 p.m. tonight, 61 degrees, mostly clear skies. But if you look at the winds, it does taper down 5 to 10 miles per hour coming in south to southeast. This is what you can expect for the rest of the week. Very sunny all week, in the 80s, mid to low 80s, and it does go down into the 50s for your low temperatures. Sarah Lichterman, Cronkite Weather.
Controversial, unexpected, shocking. Those are the words many have used to describe election 2016.
And those words will live on in headlines across the country. Coming up on Cronkite News, how news outlets are casting this election in stone.
The confidence to lead our country.
This isn't reality television.
I feel like Hamilton reached out from history and wouldn't let me go until I told his story.
I make no apology for my actions. I would do the same again.
How have we come so far and yet have so far to go?
Right there, coming up.
In 1920s Melbourne,
Careful with the hand luggage. My pistol's in there somewhere and it may still be loaded.
Phryne Fisher is a detective.
Things could get interesting around here.
Thought they already were. Who isn't afraid to live a little.
I hope you're not concealing a dangerous weapon under that skirt.
I'm concealing a lot of things. Why do you think you could just run off on your own? Because I'm carrying a gun.
The irresistible series, Miss Fisher's Murder Mysteries.
Saturday night at 10 on Arizona PBS.
Hi, I'm Charlie Rose. As part of the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communication at ASU, Arizona PBS is providing a state-of-the-art venue for the next generation of journalists. From newsrooms in Washington, Los Angeles, and here in Phoenix, students engage in real-time, real-world news reporting, broadcast production, and online innovation. The Cronkite School and Arizona PBS working together in new ways to bridge the classroom to the community in the digital age.
Dubbed the most historic election in recent history, newspapers around the country are giving unforgettable headlines following Donald Trump's upset victory. The Newseum in Washington, D.C. this morning displays newspaper front pages from around the country. Cronkite News' Dylan Eddy shows us what was coming hot off the press.
The morning after a historic upset, the truth was plastered here in black and white at the Newseum. But this didn't seem to make it any easier for some visitors to grasp the results. Under a damp and overcast sky, the headlines from around the country told the story that Donald Trump will be the nation's 45th president.
Still hasn't sunk it in yet. I'm just kind of shocked. I really thought it was going to go a different way, but you know, you gotta go with it.
Visitors lingered, silently looking at the newspapers, taking a moment to capture a piece of history.
In Germany, people were worried because strange things happen. You know, nobody thought it was possible, though.
The Newseum displays the front pages of several newspapers from across the country every day. So even though today's headlines were emotional for some, tomorrow there will be other news and other headlines. Reporting from the Newseum in Washington, Dylan Eddy, Cronkite News.
Cronkite News is proud to be the news division of Arizona PBS. Here's what's coming up on Arizona Horizon and PBS NewsHour.
On the next Arizona Horizon, we'll get a full recap and analysis of local and national election results, and we'll hear about the Phoenix Chorale's performance of a noted Duke Ellington concert. That's the next Arizona Horizon.
I'm Judy Woodruff on the next NewsHour. Full analysis and reaction to the election of a new president. That's Wednesday on the PBS NewsHour.
That's it for Cronkite News tonight. Thanks for joining us.
For top Arizona stories anytime, go to cronkitenews.azpbs.org.
The greatest predator since the dinosaur may be living in your house. So what makes a cat, and how have they thrived across the planet? This is the story of cats, an 11 million year evolutionary journey into our homes.
Tonight at 7 on Arizona PBS.
From I Have a Dream to I Can't Breathe. From Straight Outta Compton to the White House. Black history is American history.
You must not surrender. Keep hope alive.
Black America since MLK and still I
Tuesday
rise.
night at 7 on Arizona